welcome back to Open. Our last guest is a multidisciplinary artist shaped and influenced by a multitude of cultures. Her music has an unwavering rhythm of expression and liberation, with the upbeat tones and percussions derived from multicultural influences of the Caribbean and West Africa, and the smooth rhythms of the United States. She takes her soulful and melodic voice to new heights in English, Spanish, French, and Portuguese. Here now to share more, let's give it up for Møya.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
That was the grand introduction.
Yes, it was just a character that you gave to other words.
Pero
It's how you say it, because you gave it a flavor.
Yeah, well, you've got a lot of flavor. How could I not? How could I not?
Mucho adobo.
Oh my gosh. And sazón, un poquito de sazón. Oh my gosh. Pero I have to say, just going through your work, the fact that you have chosen to blend genres and languages, it's very inspiring, especially in this particular show episode, because we just had a guest on that was discussing 21 Islands, and it's a global film festival. And so I kind of feel like you also are carrying that same message of just really finding the humanity within each other, even though there's differences.
Definitely. I think that's like really what influences me, is kind of just trying to find what unites us. That's what influence, and just like as far as like the Black diaspora specifically, like what unites us through music. Something that really always inspired me, like how to make certain projects fun in college, was just how to show history through the lens of music, or like, for example, how certain songs are sampled, like. And that's actually what influenced me to learn French and Portuguese while I was at the university. And I would do just projects of like Lusophone influences in American music, stuff like that. So it's just something that I'm very passionate about.
Right, educating in the process, right? So can we share with our viewers that you're a professor?
Okay, yeah. Yes, I am. I teach within the Black and Latino Studies department at Baruch College. This is actually my first year doing that. Before that, I was at a charter school in Brooklyn teaching Spanish. And I think because I was so passionate about learning French and Portuguese, that I wanted to translate that passion with my students who also were learning Spanish. I just think back to when I had to take Spanish, even as a native speaker. In high school, just like I never felt fully invested in it, even though it's like a native language. So just think about my experience and my passion in learning and showing that with students as well. So
yeah, and then you have the other languages on top of that, right? So, but the idea really is that you are using the music genre and different genres within the music, I should say, to even educate but entertain. I'm into edutainment, so I just really dig the flavor you come in with, right? Because I was watching this one video and I was like, that's like a one-woman show by itself. And I don't mean a one-woman show from that place of doing a theater one-woman show. A one-woman show from a musical perspective, which I've never seen, right? Not only in genre, right, because you mix different genres, but of course the costume changes and the personality shifts as well. It's, I know, I'm flattering you, you. But really what I'm really alluding to is the fact that you could tell that it isn't just about the entertainment.
Yeah, for me, it's not just about entertainment. While I love that that's the aspect, because I'm an artist, I want folks to feel like they're being entertained and that they can enjoy it. But for me, it's really like a spiritual release. And the project really came to life while I was in Paris getting my master's. Like Columbia has a campus there, so I was getting my master's out there. And that's when the quarantine hit, and it was very, very strict in France. Like we really could not be outside. You needed an attestation, which is like a hall pass for outside. You could not be outside after 6 p.m. My outing was the supermarket. I would literally get dressed to go through the aisles for like an hour because there was nothing to do. And so like music was like my way of like keeping grounded and coming back home to myself, and like meditating and all that process. Just feeling like I finally had the time to check in with myself, because I felt academia was taking so much of my spirit. I was so invested in making sure I was doing things right. Or like impressing professors, when really I should have just focused on like myself a little bit more. So like music was that way to kind of find that balance again.
So it was like your medicine.
Yes, definitely.
It was your medicine.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but one of the things that stood out for me in one of your statements was the fact that you've chosen to break language barriers for the root of our existence and in sharing our common existence in our humanity.
Yeah. And that actually is inspired from my favorite artist, Stromae. He's Belgian, and I learned French by listening to him. I was a freshman in college, and it was like winter break. I was with some friends, and one of my friend's sisters just put on this music video that was very like trippy, like I felt like I was so warped into a zone.
Right.
I'm even warping myself right now thinking about it.
Right.
And literally, when everyone went,
fui contigo too, just so you know. Like, I don't even know the song, but I was like, I was there.
Yeah.
No, not really, right?
No, but yeah. So once everyone went to sleep, like I just stayed up all night, and I found that he had a concert at Madison Square Garden, and he had all the subtitles for that concert from French and the subtitles in English. And I literally decided that day I'm gonna learn French. And then full circle moment, he came back to Madison Square Garden after years of not releasing music. I'm like, pero tipo, dime, where's the music? I need it. He finally released an album this last year, and then in November, he sold out Madison Square Garden. And
wow.
And I was so happy to be in the audience. I was all the way in the back because those tickets really sold out so fast. I was so jealous. But even in the back, like I was so grateful to be witnessing the person that inspired me to learn French. Like I literally would sit at Union Square Park translating those lyrics and checking myself to be like, okay, what did you get right this time? And then taking French classes that way. And again, like that's kind of like where the humanity comes from, because his cover art has like this square root, which actually got tattooed. Oh my God, I'm such a mega fan. But actually,
I wish we could do a close-up.
It's just a square root. It's a square root sign. It's math, but like kind of finding the commonality, the root of our existence is that we share in common our humanity, and that really spoke to me. And so I just wanted to like embody that, not just in like how I communicate with folks, but also just how I create my music. And also part of that is my producer who produced three. Transatlantic Calls, Open Letter, and Dile. He produced 3 other tracks on this project. He's from Cabo Verde, but born in Switzerland. Dad is Russian, mom is Cabo Verdean and from Guinea-Bissau. So like just already he is like a whole multicultural person, like just so much. And like what really worked in that process working with him is like he also speaks 6 languages. So when I tell him I want to sound like this and I want to emulate that and I want to like express myself in this way, he was very much able to understand and just like literally Open Letter, this other track, he flew out to Paris, visited me.
Right, that's the one I actually experienced online. That was like, whoa, this is pretty. Like it's a nice trip, not just the location.
Yeah.
The different styles in which you're messaging.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? You feel it? You feel what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Because you know, you already did it, it's done, you're already on to the next one. But in experiencing it for the first time, and if no one's told you, it's more than just, you know, you singing all these different music styles. I don't even know how many music styles are in there. I know reggaeton is in there, but it isn't solely reggaeton. I mean, that's the one that stands out the most. And also, that's a male-dominated industry. So to see you kind of like play with that also, right? The femininity and the masculinity.
Yeah, I think the way that song came to life, it wasn't that I was even intentionally trying to do anything with that song in that way, like the masculine and feminine. Really what it was is like my friend, producer Artie, he flew out to Paris. There was a guitar. I was staying in a homestay with a lady, really nice. She had a guitar. He just started strumming. And then in like 20 minutes, he built the beat. And then he was like, I'll leave you with that. And then he left. He really just left. And then I just sat with it for that night. And then in the morning, I texted him, like, I have the lyrics. And then so I just went ahead and, like, recorded my own demo, found a studio, recorded it. And really for me, like to not stay stagnant, because I know my voice is very melodic, it really helps to have something upbeat. And then switching my own flow from singing to kind of rapping a little bit. I wouldn't call myself a rapper. I more so call myself just like a singer, but I do like to flow sometimes to communicate what I'm feeling. And I think in that track, like I flow kind of to like emphasize that I'm angry because I'm talking about like patriarchy and like following our dreams.
Right.
But then like after that, I come back to the singing.
Right.
And it's very Lauryn Hill inspired because I have so many layered tracks. Like
Right.
I have the lead and then I have different vocals coming in saying different narratives. Yeah.
And what are you gonna perform for us today? Because we're not.
Okay.
I know we're over here blowing up this song, which you guys can just check out on YouTube, right? You can just check it out on YouTube. Pero today she's gonna perform for us in studio. And so after we've done blown up, what is the name of the one that we were just talking about?
So
Open Letters.
That's Open Letters.
We were talking about Open Letters,
Yeah.
but now she's gonna perform Transatlantic Calls.
Yes. Should I talk a little bit about that before?
Yeah, before
okay.
we go to break. Yeah.
Also by the same producer. Had a lot of fun with that. It's kind of just coming to terms with certain feelings about like heartbreak. It's actually about multiple guys because I just felt like I had to tap to different experiences to communicate just like heartbreak and stuff like that, but in a fun way. Like I said, my voice is very melodic, and I don't want to drown out listeners with like the oh, haha, la la, like oh my god, and heartbreak. Like I just want folks to feel like you could dance to it. Like you know, when you grow up listening to salsa or whatever it is, you think oh rhythms, we're dancing, da 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 da. And then as I get older, I really listen to the lyrics. I'm like, this is sad, right? So I kind of just wanted to do the same.
Sad or poetic.
Sad or
depending on who
poetic,
it is.
yeah. But you know, I just wanted to kind of. Tap into that as well, like having something that's very like heart-filled, but that you can still dance to it.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for bringing it down. And
Yes.
guess what? You guys are going to be able to dance to it. Møya Ray, everyone. Don't go anywhere because when we return, Møya Ray is going to perform for us after the break. You
Yes.
don't want to miss.